Contract testing is something you do next to your functional API testing. So you should not see contract testing as a replacement for the testing that you do with, for example, libraries like REST Assured or requests, or tools like Postman or Karate or whatever API testing tool it is that you use. So contract testing is not a replacement for that type of testing. It's meant to be a replacement for the integration and end-to-end testing you do, for example, with tools like Selenium or Cypress or Playwright or those kinds of libraries and tools. It's good to know that there are a couple of different approaches to contract testing. So when people talk about contract testing, they typically immediately start talking about packed and about consumer-driven contract testing. And that's understandable because it's just packed is an absolutely brilliant library and it's very powerful, cross-platform. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But packed is a consumer-driven contract testing library. And consumer-driven contract testing is only one of 3 different approaches to contract testing. So we have consumer-driven contract testing, where the consumer writes down their expectations about the behavior of the provider in a contract, gives that contract to the provider, and it's up to the provider to verify that they can meet those expectations that all of these consumers have given to them. Provider-driven contract testing is the second approach, which is basically the provider telling the consumer, this is what I do, you go figure it out. You don't see a lot of people talking about provider-driven contract testing, and that makes sense because it's very, very unidirectional. There's no feedback loop. There's no conversation. It's basically just very dictatorial. The provider says, well, this is what I do. And then there's a third approach to contract testing, which is called bidirectional contract testing, where both the consumer and the provider give their own version of this is what I think I should do, or this is what I expect to do, to a independent, trusted third party, and that third party checks if there are any mismatches and any potential integration issues.